If your mind will not slow down, old memories or possibilities keep resurfacing, and you feel pressure to rethink your entire life direction, this new moon isn't just emotional, it is mental destiny pressure. Mercury is sitting on the North Node. Retrograde, opposing the South Node, which means the future is trying to reorganize how you think while the past keeps pulling for old familiar patterns. And as the mind shifts, the heart always follows. Because before your life changes, your imagination of what's possible has to change first. Well, hello, gorgeous. I'm Tara Kinden, founder of Bioenergetic Somatics. In this video, I want to walk you through this new moon. I want to take you into the human design and the astrology, and of course, the body. How will it affect your nervous system, your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy in real time? So please stay all the way to the end because I'm going to guide you through a live tuning session that you'll be able to return to throughout the month. This particular transit is essentially turning on our heart field, the electricity of that heart field. And when that happens, the body is going to need support to integrate it. Now, this isn't just another Pisces new moon. It is happening at 28 degrees, the final stretch of the zodiac, right before the equinox resets the entire astrological new year. And while it's unfolding, Mercury sits directly on the North Node. He is retrograde. He's opposing the South Node, and recently after meeting Mars, the planet of action. So we're looking at the powerful convergence of the mental reorientation, how to release outdated narratives, activation towards your new direction, and emotional processing to catch up afterwards. So at the same time, the sun and the moon are concentrated in the gate 25. This is the gate of spirit and open-heartedness, which connects directly to the heart, the thymus, our immune system, and our relational safety circuitry. So this isn't just about what you are feeling, it's also about your thoughts, your heart, and your body as they all begin to reorganize together. The mind imagines new possibilities. The heart decides whether it feels alive enough in the body to say yes, and it determines whether or not we feel safe enough to go for that next thing. All right, let's go into somatics to really identify where is this showing up. The gate 25 is about heart territory in the body. This is the heart, it's the pericardium, the thymus, upper lungs, ventricle vagus pathways, oxytocin chemistry. This system answers one core question. Is it safe to open? As Mercury is activating new mental pathways, this gate asks whether your system is willing to soften into those pathways. You might even notice things like chest sensitivity or pressure, emotional waves, fatigue, or overstimulation, reduced tolerance for conflict and noise, and a longing for just warmth and quiet. Your immune system or your energy may fluctuate, and the heart is not just emotional, it's electrical, it's hormonal, and it's neurological. Now let's bridge the energy from the mental mind of Mercury into the heart. So Mercury is with the North Node, and this is about future-oriented thinking under pressure. It can feel like looping thoughts about what could be different, how's it going to be different, all the how questions. It's revisiting past decisions, sudden insight followed by a sense of doubt, or maybe difficulty focusing on ordinary tasks, urgency to figure all the things out, and reimagining what that could actually look like for you. But the purpose isn't about solving everything. It is about expanding what you believe is possible. Because when the mind opens up to a new trajectory, emotional energy begins to arise. You get that excitement, maybe fear, maybe anticipation, and that energy moves straight into the heart field. And this is why people may feel mentally wired and emotionally tender all at the same time. And now, because this moon is sitting at the dying edge of Pisces season, it is dissolving old identities rather than launching new ones. And Mercury's opposition to that South Node is reinforcing that theme. Outdated mental frameworks are losing their traction. This isn't about big dramatic endings or, explosive endings. It's more like a quiet realization that something is just no longer aligned for you in your path moving forward. I do always love to throw in the Sabian symbol. So at 29 degrees of Pisces, it is a prism. So it's a prism that splits one beam of light into many colors, revealing what was hidden deep inside. And this degree is really exposing the full spectrum of truth, especially in relationships, identity, our emotional realities. So things may look suddenly different because you're seeing all of the layers or colors at once. And in our bodies, this can show up as things like heightened sensitivity or sharp clarity about what feels really nourishing and what's draining. A lot more emotional transparency, reduced tolerance for certain environments that compress your heart energy, and awareness of dynamics that maybe you previously were like, it's no big deal. It's not that we want to go and create something new under this new moon. It's that what is already present in the field is beginning to be more revealed. Like we're seeing deeper layers of the context, if that makes sense. And we can't not talk about the creative element of this. So at the same time, the throat center is being activated through gate 8. And this is about contribution. This is about our expression. This is about our style, our eccentricities. You know, when the heart opens, something wants to move outward, and the hands want to be creating something. The voice wants to speak, energy wants to form. This is about art, writing, crafting, designing, building. All of these things become stabilizing outlets, not optional extras. Like with Uranus involved, originality matters more than perfection. And missing the boat on this is going to be problematic. It is time to march to the beat of your own drum because Uranus is soon going to be moving into Gemini. And that is really going to amplify this desire for individuality, but also to see sides of things you may not have seen before. There's also a strong activation for emotional bonding circuitry. So maybe you've become acutely aware of who feels grounding versus who feels draining during different times for you, where your obligation is outweighing your personal nourishment. Family or loyalty dynamics may shift and change, and you just may want more comfort, more warmth. You may be sensitive to disconnection, and this is attachment wiring scanning for stability. The breath is critical here because we tend to breathe really shallowly up in the upper part of our chest. And full breath, when we can actually relax the diaphragm to take a full deep belly breath, that also signals to your body, I'm safe to make choices that feel really good for me. I know we've talked a lot about softness, but we also have an initiating energy with Venus being in gate 51. She is really about softness, but she's also sparky. There's an adrenal activation through the heart. We may feel sudden impulses of bold clarity, a sense that something has to change and it has to change now. And we want to make sure we're handling this in a very conscious way because with Venus in Aries, she's got us all fired up and she needs somewhere to go. So this is where the more clear we can get in the mind, the more clear we can get in the heart and our emotions, the easier it is for us to take that action instead of action being taken for us when we haven't fully registered where we are ready to go. So this Pisces new moon isn't just emotional or spiritual. It's really quite cognitive, it's physiological, it's relational, and it is directional all at once. Your mind is stretching towards the future. Your heart is deciding whether it wants to go, and your body is saying like, can I even do this? So now let's take a look deeply into the astrology and the human design and the mechanics so you can really work with this energy instead of getting caught up in the pressure of it. All right, let's dive into the human design first. Now, I just want to also remind you that there are tons of people who are going deep and deep and deep into the human design, into the astrology. But what I want to do is give you more of a surface level invitation to also help you understand how this is actually going to show up in the body so that you can not only intellectually understand, but you can embody. Because the important thing to do in this particular moon is to embody. If you cannot embody this information, you will feel very ungrounded. Let's look at what's open. So, what's open and amplifying is the head center, the root center, and the spleen center. The spleen has no gates activated off of it. So we could really be influenced by collective fear here. But what I want to empower you with is that you already know. When you get that feeling, ooh, that sounds like baloney, that doesn't really feel good, trust your intuitive senses whispering, because they never yell. If it's yelling at you, that's fear. And I did a whole video on intuition versus anxiety, so you could kind of really understand a little bit more about the difference. I'll make sure to link that for you as well. But just paying attention to it whispers, "Ah, okay, no, this doesn't feel good." It's tingling, it's sensing. So whatever your body messages are, pay close attention because it matters. Now, everything that is defined is the ajna, is the throat, is the G, is the will center, is the emotional solar plexus, and is your sacral. So it is Mercury's day. This new moon happens on a Wednesday, which makes it Mercury's day. Let's look to Mercury. He's in gate 37. Where is gate 37, you might ask? Right here off the emotional solar plexus center. Now, the North Node and Mercury are hanging out together in that gate, which means emotions are at play. We want to feel peaceful and we want to be able to allow ourselves to drop into the excitement and the energies that could be there for us for the future. And I know this is really hard to even contemplate right now, but if you can let yourself feel about peaceful new beginnings, there could be massive shifts here. So it's just an invitation. Do with it what you will. I'm only going to give you some insights and embodiment practices for you to try to put together, and then you take it where you take it. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole enchilada because it'll be a lot for us. This video will become very long very quickly. But know that this pathway here is the new energies of the human design evolution, where we are really moving from feeling into what we have energy for, into what our heart desires. And this is a powerful pathway in how we will really change the dynamic of how we live our lives. How do I feel about this? We often don't ask ourselves that question enough. How do I feel about this? We just do things, right? But if you don't feel really aligned or good about something, it is going to be very hard for you to force yourself the willpower to do it, especially if you are not well resourced. If you are tired, if you don't have the resources or the energy, you will not be able to do it. And it'll be something to really pay attention to over this next year and moving forward. Now, the heart. Is our heart available? Are we able to soften the heart to invite in this new direction? Because the heart is all about direction. The G center is all about direction. And we have the sun, we have the moon, and we have Neptune all hanging out in the gate 25. What I love about gate 25 is the gate of spirit. It's the gate of really allowing yourself to trust and believe in something beyond what you can see. Again, this is such feeling-based energy. Like, how does my heart feel in this? Do I get excited? Are there energies that begin to develop from this area? And with this being the last degrees of Pisces, this is the invitation for a new creative direction forward. That's what I believe. And Neptune has been hanging out of this gate for some time. He's going to move out soon because he's now in Aries. But Neptune and Saturn sat in this gate for a ridiculously long amount of time, clearing a pathway, I believe, for this new moon to finally be like, okay, we see what we see, we're done with what we're done with, and we're mentally going to clear this out so that our heart can take over. Again, do with it what you will. So when Venus is in gate 51 is here. She's connecting to this energy of the sun and the moon and Neptune. Venus in gate 51, this gate is about shock and redirecting us. So Venus in Aries wants what she wants. She is a determined young woman when she is here, and she is fierce and very challenging to stop. She slow her roll is not words that you will ever hear of Venus in Aries say. It is just a guns ablazing and away we go. But what that can do is, if you are getting too far ahead of yourself, you may be halted on your path and redirected in a new way. So the cool thing with this Venus is to really go into the heart, go into your willpower, go into that center. Say, okay, where am I pushing myself too hard in a direction that doesn't feel ease filled? It doesn't feel like I got enough energy for this. Like if you're tired and you're trying to pound something out and you're like, I just have to get to this last thing. I forgot to eat. I forgot to pee. You will come into some challenges because that Venus isn't resourced. She does not have enough energy to actually go forward with the thing. Keep that in mind as you are moving through this next little while, this next few days for sure. Keep that in mind. Oy, 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 what else do I want to tell you? It's just, really the caution about the fear thing is the biggest piece that I can embed in your beautiful minds, because it could be very easy to get swept out into the ocean of emotion and feel very fear-based. But there's a big opportunity here for creating something new. Now let's go and look at the astrology. Here we have the astrology chart. Let's dive into the dynamics here after you've now kind of seen the body graph and where the energy may be moving within the body. And we're like, okay, what's happening astrologically that we can be aware of and pay attention to? So number one, look at all the water-based energy. We got all of these guys in water. We've got Jupiter in water. We have the part of fortune and Black Moon Lilith. I always add in the goddesses because I do not believe the chart exists without them. They are very important. Okay, they symbolize something important, so we talk about them. Period. So when I'm looking at the energies in Pisces, I'm looking at Vesta. This is the goddess of what we devote ourselves to, our heart fire. She is in Pisces. Then we have Mercury. Then we have the North Node. Then we have Mars. We have Pallas Athena, and this is wisdom. This is wisdom. Then we have the sun and we have the moon hanging out here. Now, Mercury and the North Node are opposite the South Node in Virgo. Okay, so there is this mental releasing, mental moving forward in this new direction. And if you remember, this Mars, I actually don't even know if I said this, but Mars is going to be hanging out in Pisces for some time. So he will be in Pisces until I believe it's April the 10th. That's a little while longer. And we have the equinox happening in a couple of days. So yes, we're having a new astrological year beginning. But again, we have Mars hanging out in the fog. And so with this, it means that we may not have full clarity on how we're going to take action. So with the North Node and Mercury hanging out here in Pisces until next week, this is an energy to be like, all right, let's get creative. Let's use our hands. Maybe it's a beautiful opportunity to actually till the soil. Like, I know this isn't a Virgoian thing that we're talking about with Pisces, but creatively, like, what can you be helping yourself stay grounded and creative in? And I'm like, dirt is always that. Planting is always that. Maybe you don't plant your seeds quite yet, but you get the soil ready. You're doing this sort of mental clearing, physical clearing, all of that. Clean a drawer. Get rid of old junk. If you have old paperwork that's bogging down your mind, clear it out. That is the opportunity. Again, this is not a manifesting moon. This is a clear out the cobwebs, a spring cleaning of the mind to create fertile soil for something new you're going to plant once you dive into Aries season, when it's fully Aries season, like i.e. when Mars gets in there. because that's when we're going to feel momentum. All planets will be direct. It'll be all systems go. It'll be like, woo, and off we go. Venus will be having moved into Taurus not too long after that. So all you're doing on this new moon is you are harnessing the power of your vitality and your energy, and you're allowing yourself to freaking rest because it's been one hell of a year. So, rest is paramount. We need to be able to soothe our spirits before we move into the next area of our lives. We're going to have Uranus here moving into Gemini, which is going to again bring in more electricity. He's electric enough as he is. When he moves into Gemini, he's just going to be like a lightning bolt of action. And he's going to make a trine to Pluto once he kind of keeps moving forward. It'll be a little bit, but we got a lot of electric energy ahead, fire-based energy. We're in a fire horse year. What's the number one thing that can happen in this fire horse year? People can burn themselves out. And remember, the Sabian symbol for this 28, 29, we always jump forward. So if it's a 28 degree and change new moon, we jump forward to like the 29. So it's a degree up. So the 29th degree Sabian symbol is that prism of light, being able to really see inside that narrow color or the narrow light into all the fractals of what can be created through that, right? It's not just white light, it's actually rainbow. Yeah, I just want to show you this chart here so you can see how much feminine energy to masculine there is, how much water there is to all the other elements, and how mutable we need to be. These are important things, okay? And then also everyone is in bounds and behaving themselves. So that is a good thing. Okay. So, as we're wrapping up the cosmic rhythm, I want to remind you that information alone will not stabilize this energy. It's about embodiment, it's about movement, breath, touch, warmth, sound, physical presence. Your system is asking again this core question: is it safe enough for me to fully be here? So let's shift out of analysis paralysis and let's move on into the body with the tuning. And so before we are jumping right on into the tuning, I just want to let you know, like, this sound tuning is designed specifically for regulating your heart field, for calming your nervous system and quieting down the mind. It's really going to help your body integrate all of this energy, and you'll be able to return to this at any time over this next month, especially if things begin to feel intense, emotional, or just overstimulating in general. Welcome, friends. Let's begin our tuning session portion, where we are going to dive into breaking up the density of the field. So all you need to do is take a beautiful deep breath in through the nose and exhaling and releasing through the mouth. Soften the face, soften the shoulders, relax them down and away from your ears, and noticing the pressure of the mind. Giving yourself a moment here to continue some nice deep full breaths as you just exhale. This will be a short tuning with the goal of breaking up density, bringing you into coherence. Noticing if there's any static in the field, anything that just feels busy. We're going to calm that down, bringing you back into your body. And pay attention here to your mind. Is your mind having trouble dropping in today? Is it really busy? Are there thoughts looping? Energy patterns that may be looping? Anything preventing you from coming into full coherence? And just noticing if the weight of the world feels like it's sitting on your shoulders, like you've been trying to figure everything out, what to do next. how to take care of your family, your community, feeling responsible for things that are out of your control. Breathing in, exhaling out. And as your mind is processing thoughts and conversations from this week, drop right on into your heart. What are you sensing in your heart? A softness, a disconnection, a loneliness, maybe even a fullness, an excited vibration coming online. Whatever is here is perfect. Take a deep breath and just be with what is. As while you listen, we're breaking up that density. But there is resistance. I can feel resistance in the field for sure. And I think the resistance is not only to change, but almost a comfort with what has been, even if it's been uncomfortable. And that is normal. So as we're breaking up all of this density, we're also recognizing where we kind of like a little bit of that density, where we like feeling responsible. We like feeling a little pressure. Some of us have a badge of honor of feeling proud of leaving things to the last minute, especially when we're under high pressure. But this is an invitation to relinquish some of that responsibility. Oof. You can feel how resistant some of you may be to that. Like, well, what does that look like if I'm not as responsible? What does that look like if I take off early on a Friday? What does it look like if I want to go on an adventure? It can feel really scary, and I think that's what this is that's showing up here today. But the more you talk about it, the more you breathe through it, the easier it becomes to soften into potentials, to new pathways, to new opportunities, to taking a path that just feels less resistant. And as you're moving out of the mind and the responsibilities and these patterns and these old looping thoughts, oof. And again, that may be very challenging for some of you. So breathe here. And just recognize it. If it's challenging you, it's there for a reason. It's always an invitation. Are you breathing up in your chest? Or are you letting yourself drop in? It's a really exciting time and an unnerving time. So whatever you feel is right on time. But the more you work with this energy, the easier this process will become. And the more comfortable you will become with the discomfort. Yes, and that feels very liberating to be more curious about what is available to you. Especially when you felt like there isn't a whole lot of new things available to you and you're just repeating the same patterns. You can wiggle, you can shake it out a little bit. And if you're in the mind, drop back into your heart and sit there in the seat of your soul. How do you feel? Is there excitement? Is there trepidation? Breathe. Come into your heart. You can hear this sound almost unraveling from the intensity. Softer, more coherent, and that signals to me a shift that has happened. So it is subtle. This isn't meant to be jarring in any way. It's meant to open up new pathways, to breathing into these new spaces within yourself. And there's an excitement to that. That's that little elevation in the sound. There's an excitement here. And that's what we're doing. We're turning on the electricity of the heart. So to lock this energy in, I am going to use a beautiful sound that is all about heart-based energies. And creating a vortex and an opening into the heart. To really feel that land. Take one more deep breath in here. And again, anytime you feel those densities coming in, come back and listen to this and get back into the electricity of the heart. And one more little tap here too. Lock it in. Thank you so much for staying with me. I hope that you received that sound healing fully. Just take a moment to notice, what does your body feel like? How's your breath? How's your energy? Has anything subtly shifted? If this has supported you in any way, please like this video, share it with a girlfriend of yours who could really benefit, and leave a comment. I love reading them. I'd love to know what shifted or changed for you. If you really need more personalized support, you can always book a private biofield tuning session with me. The links are below, and I would truly love working with you one-to-one. If you're looking for more of a community support, you can always join the Inner Tide membership. This is where I'm sharing daily guidance on the regulation tools, the cosmic rhythm, and all of the magic that goes along with this work. So, if you would like to stay in this calm-based energy, I recorded the sun rising over the ocean. It's a quiet 6-minute video. It's designed to help your nervous system reintegrate really gently, and you can go there next. It's over here. And as always, thank you for being here. And always remember who you came here to be. Take care, everyone.